When do you become important? I was surprised when I entered the grieving world. I didn't know really what was happening. It was a whirlwind and nothing really made sense. Sometimes things still don't make sense. I decided to seek support from a group, so I went to a local one. It was for the loss of a child of any age. There was a sign-up sheet with columns, and the names and ages of the deceased were printed at the top of these columns. And I would write, unborn. And at the time, there were no names. There was a circle of chairs that we sat in, with boxes of tissues at the center. I eventually learned to walk in and grab a few. Then eventually, I was crying so much I kept tissues in my purse. I would unapologetically wipe the tears from my face. And this group of grieving parents welcomed me, even though I didn't say much. I didn't have much to say, so I listened as they shared memories of their children's lives. And my heart ached because most of my memories were not the kind someone wants to think of. I only had a handful of things to say, but it all seemed to get stuck in my throat before I could speak it. Most of it involved Hyperemesis Gravidarum suffering. I thought, who would want to hear that I was so sick? Who would want to hear that I terminated my very loved and wanted babies? I never shared with the group how my pregnancies ended. A few people assumed miscarriage, and I listened as they shared their miscarriage experiences with me. As I held my secret close to my heart, I wouldn't allow it to escape my lips. So my question is, when do we become important? Is it in the first trimester or second? The third? Is it when there is a first breath? When do we become important? Is it when we have our first cry? Is it when we come home for the first time? Or when we learn to crawl? Or when we fall, walk, run, or climb? When do we become important? Is it our first day of school or when we graduate? What about college? Or when we have a career? When do we become important? I believe we are important the day we are thought of, the day we want to bring them home even before they're born. I believe we are important the moment there is a heartbeat. I believe we are important as the cells begin to develop. I believe we are important at every gestation and every age and every stage. I believe we are important always, even after we die. The child loss support group shared their memories. They grieved deeply through memories, and I had some. But they hurt too much to think about the trauma surrounding my babies' lives. It came as a shock when my grief counselor from the same facility the support group was at uninvited me from the community gathering. I was told that I was not a good fit because my losses were unborn. After being in this community for over a year, I felt crushed that they knew my losses were unborn the entire time. Yet this counselor never shared with me how she felt before that day. She helped me lose trust in this facility that specializes in grief. I was broken and angry, spiraling into isolation. This rejection was so heavy and helped me tailspin into depression. It also helped me learn to be picky about who you trust with your grief. Not everyone deserves your grief. Not everyone honors your grief. Not everyone will recognize your grief. But here in the Hyperemesis Gravidarum lost community, we recognize your deep love, deep sadness, and everything in between. We honor your grief. We will honor your loved ones because they are all important. Whether your loss is born or not, you're a good fit. Your loved one is important. You are important. You are welcome in this community.